Hello, thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of the program Sport Pizza, where you get the absolute best in the ever exciting world of sport. My name is Brownson, one of your hosts, and lots of things making the round at this time. Now, if you're not watching Euros, well, I'm wondering what you're watching at this time. Now, club football may have come and gone, the season may have ended, but the Euros definitely has kept us fully entertained. Now, round of 16, big teams have crashed out of that. Now, all eyes on the quarterfinal that will be kickstarting on by the weekend. We'll be giving you all the fun one about that. And then the transfer window is absolutely buzzing. Who is going where? We'll be telling you on the show today. Now, not forgetting about Nigerian Professional Football League. Aqua United finally lost their winning streak. Who did that to them? We'll find out that on the show today. Also, to let you know that Serena Williams won't be going for the Olympics. Why? We'll be giving you that and much more after this break. Don't go away. Welcome back. Ola Kule Philip, my strike partner, joins me at this time. Kule, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, top of the day to you, Brownson Iwana. It's good to be here once again to talk sports. And just like you said, the Euro 2020 is absolutely buzzing and really very exciting. It's so sad that, Portugal, despite putting up a very good performance, and in the NPFL, Aqua United's winning streak came to an end. Otto Kutz took center stage. Brownson, we're really going to be tough to talk so much about the NPFL today, because I think I saw one incident that was really very unpleasant. The game between Plateau United
we'll get there.
and
we'll get there. Because I mean that really broke the internet. And we'll give you updates on that. But let's start with the Euros. The Euros has been very fantastic. Last week we looked at some teams that we expect to go very far in the competition. And one of the teams that we tipped to go far, even though we didn't understand the leg according to their routes where they'll take, was also Portugal. Looking at the fact that Cristiano Ronaldo for me has been very fantastic this competition. He came into this competition needed to score 5 goals to equal the highest goal scoring scorer in national team football. He needed to score 5 goals, came to the competition, got exactly 5 goals.
Yeah, I got exactly 5 goals. I think if we talk about one player who stood out tall as far as the tournament is concerned so far, we want to give it to Cristiano Ronaldo. Despite his age, despite things around him, he has been able to stand very tall and posted a very good performance, despite the fact that the team has been knocked out of Euro 2020. Yes, he had 5 goals. He was to secure 5 goals. At a point in time, he became, during the course of the tournament, he became the leading scorer for Portugal. I mean, when you talk about the all-time goal scorer in the national team. And, he also had a record to break against, the Iranian, who has been holding the record of 109 international goals for Iran. And he was able to equal that record. That was absolutely fantastic.
He needs one more goal.
Yeah, he needed one more goal to eclipse the record. I think he's still, I don't know if the opportunity for the sake, because of his age.
For the sake of loyalty, I'm even not for anything. I think he shouldn't quit national team football just yet.
Yeah,
Ronaldo would not quit. Ronaldo, I know, want to set that record, but it's whether the national team, will give him the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, it will actually amount to that. And considering the fact that the World Cup is just about 2 years or thereabout away from now, so it still stands a very good chance. And with the way he's playing, we talked about with this some couple of weeks ago, that despite the fact that we have some bunch of young players emerging, and we felt that some of them are great prospects, they'll probably, when they really flourish, they'll be able to put up better performances than Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, because those players are over 30 as we speak. And up till now, they are still competing with those guys, even if not doing better, apart from Kylian Mbappe. And really, is Mbappe doing better than Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi?
I mean,
doesn't score as many goals.
He doesn't score as
Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's what I'm saying.
I think he still has a lot of few years ahead of him, as far as I'm concerned, because even the way he plays does not show. Look at one of the games where he had to run I mean, almost
The distance they covered, right?
the distance was absolutely it was a great surprise for a person of his age of over 36, 37 years.
It's 36 now.
36 you know, it's really, I think he's really got a lot of his sleeves. I think he should not quit the national team. Just like you said, it's left for the national team coach to decide if he's left, you know, to continue. I think it will eclipse that record in the forthcoming World Cup.
I mean, they need a friendly game with San Marino for him to score, for him to score maybe 4 or 5 and eclipse that. Now, still in the Euros, Italy were given a scare. They were this close from exiting the tournament, no thanks to Austria. 90 minutes, no goals, extra time. The Italian boys came out, showed experience, showed class, and you have to give it to Roberto Mancini's team. Fantastic mentality they brought in that game, and of course, won an extra time. Yeah,
one of the things actually I looked at, I knew that at a point in time, the Italians are going to concede a goal, and which eventually happened. They were really giving a lot of scare. And that's why I think this tournament has been full of, I knew that at a particular point in time, when boys have been separated from men, it was going to happen like this. With the way Austria actually played, I felt that they stood a very good chance. At the point in time, I think they got a goal. I think the goal was eventually disallowed, and they gave the Italians a good run for their money. I didn't expect that from the Austrian team, because when you look at the pedigree of the Italians, of Italy, since the qualification you know, for Euro 2020 began, they've been on top of their game, and they've not lost. You know, in over 18, I'm not really sure. They've not lost in a very long time, and you can see as the tournament began, they were scoring in. I mean, goals are plenty without conceding any. So I thought that perhaps with the way they played, and with the fact that even Austria are not too convincing from their group, I felt that it might just be an easy game for the Italians, but really give them a very good.
They came out smoking.
They came out smoking, and they were able to get a goal, but it wasn't enough for them as the Italians ran out victorious. So, you know, as the tournament progresses, you get to see tougher games. You get to see those big teams, you know, small teams, those that we call small teams, really giving the big teams a good run for their money. Yeah, of course. I felt pity for Belgium, even though they qualified to round of 16, no thanks to injury. Kevin De Bruyne showed that the injury sustained at the UEFA Champions League final is still haunting him, and I mean, I couldn't help but, you know, feel very pity for him with his expressions of pains on his face. I really hope that he gets well soon before the league starts in August. Denmark also put up a very good performance after you know, one of their star player, Christian Eriksen. I mean, it's good to see that they came out smoking again, and of course they qualify to the round of 16. Now, time will not permit us to look at all the teams that have qualified to the quarterfinals. Yeah, let's not browse it. We must not forget to talk about Czech Republic beating Netherlands by 2-0. Yeah. I think that was the biggest surprise
upset.
Of the round.
I think it was an upset.
Of the round of 16 so far, because, you know, really, Czechs has been, they've been, when you watch their games, you know that these guys got a lot of their sleeve, the kind of pressing game, the tactics being adopted. But against a Netherlands team, when you look at the pedigree of the Czech Republic and that of Netherlands, you always want to give it to the Dutch national team. But of course, the better team, the team that needed the game the most, actually got the victory. And you know, when you score 2 goals.
If you look at that game, those goals came after the red card.
Yeah, after the red card. So even before the red card, they were actually, even Bronson, we could have been a goal, the obstruction by Van Dijk. If not for that obstruction, probably it would have been the first goal for, you know, Czech Republic. As far as football is concerned, until the ball gets into the net, impossible is nothing. Now, sometimes last week was reported that UEFA has scrapped away goal rule. Yeah, it's of course it's an old story, but of course we need to look at the implication of this one to football. Now, prior to this time in UEFA Champions League and all UEFA competition across Europe, now when a team go away to score 1-1 and then you come back to the other side and the other team that played home scored 2-2, the team that travels away in the second leg gets to progress. But all this seems to have changed, because right now if game ends that way, it will go all the way to extra time. Now, Kunle, before we watch UEFA Champions League, and let's say AC Milan plays Chelsea, and AC Milan travel first away from home to England and scored 2, and they played out 2-2 in San Siro.
If AC Milan travels to Stamford Bridge and they play 1-1, Chelsea qualifies because of the away goal rules. But this seems to have changed. So how do you think this rule, this change will affect football?
I am not in agreement with Taffarel as far as this is concerned, because I think the rule has been in existence since 1965, and this has actually been helping the teams playing away from home
to come out,
yeah. Try and just hit the away team, and of course you can actually sit back even when the chances come calling. You know that when you have a goal away from home, it's just like you having 2 goals, and that will actually amount to the other team, the team playing away in the second leg, also
to come out
and of course give a good account of themselves. I don't see any reason why this should be scrapped, because I think it has been working well and most of the teams have benefited immensely from this rule. So I don't know why he actually said some people are complaining about the away goal rule, that it should be abolished. But then if you look at football generally, you will be happy, you will feel excited. There's this excitement you feel when you get goals away from home. So this has been in existence for a very long time, and so many clubs have benefited.
UEFA is looking at fairness. For instance, you got 3 goals. It doesn't matter where you score. You came to my house and scored 2 goals, and in your home I scored 1, and vice versa, and the ends 3-3. Now, because you scored 2 in my home, they give you. So UEFA is feeling like 3 goals were scored in both games, so there shouldn't be advantage to any team.
That means that the team playing at home should also come out and score. That is what it means. If the teams are playing away, getting goals, you also should come out and score goals. I think this is the best as far as I'm concerned, because it will help the teams to come all out and getting the goals. But when you know that you are actually playing at home, you get a goal by, you get a 1-1. If you play 1-1, well, it's just it's just a slight difference between it, but I still feel that the away goal rule is really yielding dividend, and the teams are coming out to getting the goals.
Well, that's what it is as far as that is concerned. But let's take a very quick break right now. When we come back, more stories to come. Welcome back. Now, I know most of you are waiting to see what's happening in the transfer market. We'll be giving you that in a bit. But let's go to Africa right now. CAF Champions League Finals has been decided. Kaizer Chiefs of South Africa will be taking on Al Ahly of Egypt. Mouth-watering finals must be said, and that final will be happening on the 17th of July in Casablanca. It's going to be a very, very crunch battle indeed. Yeah,
it's going to be a crunch battle. It's going to be very massive for Kaizer Chiefs. This is their first time they will be playing in the final of the CAF Champions League against Wydad Casablanca of Morocco in the semi-final. When you look at both teams, in terms of pedigree, in terms of reputation, Wydad Casablanca holds the record high above the team, Kaizer Chiefs, but they were able to hold their own, and away from home, that was the biggest shocker. In the semi-final, they went away and defeated them by 1-0, and in the reverse fixture, they played out a goalless draw. All thanks to the player that also many Nigerians don't even want to see at the goalpost of the Super Eagles. I'm talking about Daniel Akpeyi. He stood in between, Wydad Casablanca getting goal, and against he stood tall in the heart of the goal for the team, talking about Kaizer Chiefs against Wydad Casablanca, because almost all the incursions made, he was able to make the necessary saves to ensure that the game ended in a goalless draw. So it's going to be a very exciting one. And for the other team,
Al
Ahly, yes. They also held in their game, I think it was against Esperance. They won 1-0 and of course won the second leg as well. 3 goals, 4 goals on aggregate. So if you put both teams by the side, Al Ahly, in terms of experience, in terms of maturity, in terms of pedigree, you want to say 90-10 football. But then in the round letter game, anything can happen. You could see what Daniel Akpeyi did by not allowing the away team to get in a goal, against his team. So it's going to be very massive. I really wish that Kaizer Chiefs wins because of Daniel Akpeyi.
Oh, all right. Let's see how Kaizer Chiefs will hold that. Now, let's talk about Nigerian football. Now, if you know Sunday Okechukwu Olise is not a new name as far as Nigerian football is concerned. Now, he has expressed desire to return back as a coach of the Super Eagles. Don't forget that he was the one-time coach of the Eagles and, of course, left the job when he felt things were not going right with the NFF. But, of course, the young man in an interview last week admitted that he's ready to take over the mantle.
Yeah.
Question, will he be given the job? Or do you think he's qualified enough?
I don't think he will be given the job because he had serious issues with the man who was in charge of Nigerian football at that time. And he's still the same person in charge of the Nigerian football team.
Yeah, he has understood the politics. You know, Olise grew up after football. He spent time abroad. He don't understand how things.
What happened to him in 2018 with the team he coached the last time?
Okay.
Though he helped the team gain promotion into the elite league, and then he was given the boot. And what happened? He had to take the team to court, and they had to go to the court of arbitration and all of that. I remember some couple of years ago, the former coach of the Super Falcons, at the point in time, we got the news that she was being owed to the tune of, I think, about 4 or 5 months. And she was still in charge of the Super Falcons and doing well with the team. I called her and I asked her, "Madam, is it true that you are being owed?" She said, "Please, how did you get to know? You don't have to. I don't want the NFF. I don't want the big guns to actually hear about this because I might be in trouble with them." That should not be the mentality, and that's what has actually been working against.
See, I can tell you that General is not being owed. So I think this NFF crew has a way of doing this to indigenous coaches.
Yeah,
that's lack of respect to our indigenous coaches.
Very disrespectful.
I don't think General is being owed, and don't forget General doesn't even. Probably works once in 3 months. And all of that.
Let's just leave it. Right now, we are having Austin Iguain taking the team, to play to prosecute the game against Mexico. Where is Zenot? What is he doing? What is his duty? And he came out to say he's not in charge of the home-based players. What is he talking about? Can't he discover new players from the game against Mexico?
No vex. But we need to understand this guy's contract. So when he's speaking, for instance,
yes,
when you give them employment, you give them their JD. So we don't know what his job description is.
You are
so
very right.
We'll leave it the way it is. Now let's go straight to NPFL. Absolutely buzzing, interesting game of football. We've been seeing Aqua United were invincible in their last 9 games, but that has come to an end as it stands right now. But the league is still very much interesting. Kano Pillars seems to also be struggling.
Yeah, Kano Pillars seems to also be struggling at the same time. It's just been a bit of inconsistency on their part. Aqua United suffered that loss against Katsina United. That was their first loss in over. We can't remember the last time they actually lost a game. And the game between Plateau United and Eyimba was a mouth-watering game. I knew that was going to be tough because Eyimba right now are concentrating on the league because they are out of continental tournament. So in the last 3 games they've been playing, they've actually been turning out impressive results. Against Plateau United, they played out a goalless draw, and the Irish fans went out for the players, and some of the players got injured and they had to begin to run helter-skelter. I don't know why the kind of security measures that is being put in place, by the home teams, at the end of the matches. I watched one disappointing. If you see, it was a very terrible sight to behold. One of the games involving Raymond Stars in the lower league, Raymond Stars versus Insurance of Benin, because I think they were denied the penalty. The fans got into the field. They pursued Insurance players. They played at the Remo home ground. They pursued the Insurance players. The players were running. Nobody was there to defend them. Nobody was there to even put up any kind of resistance. They ran at them with placards and they were hitting them. Some of them had to jump the fence to the other side. They don't even know where they are jumping to. I don't know why we witness this kind of thing in the NPFL, even in our league generally. It's disappointing. This thing gets to happen for men. You can't see this kind of incident happening in top leagues, even in the African continent, other African continent. That is why we are not regarded, our league is not regarded as, it's not even in the top 10 of top leagues in Africa. It's very disappointing. It's
very disappointing, must be said. And things like these are stuff we've talked about over and over and over. Now, 2 major things that must be in match venue, it's your medical van, equipment, ambulance, and all of that. First aid kit is just part of it. And also, absolute security. We understand how fragile, our polity is right now. But I don't think the league management company has done well in this. We don't want to be hearing stories like this. We hope that all of this will come to an end soon. Olakunle Philip, thank you so much. I have to let you go at this time.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
All right, let's take a break now. When we come back, for all you waiting for transfer stories, that will be coming after this time out. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now, Stephen Abiodun joins me on the last lap of the show. Stephen, good to have you.
Yeah, most welcome, Brazil. And I know you're always good to be here when we dish out all the sporting facts and activities on Sports Pizza.
All right, now let's go straight to some things happening in the transfer windows right now. Liverpool have inquired about the availability of Paris Saint-Germain forward, talking about Kylian Mbappe. And we also hear that Real Madrid are interested in this young man as well. Stephen, how do you think this will play out?
It's going to be a very difficult transfer, trust me. When you look at the fact that Real Madrid has been after this man for a while now and have not been able to land him so far. And Real Madrid, when they are in love with a particular player, they are always going all out to get that player. You can imagine how long it took them to get Eden Hazard, and eventually they got him. Same thing with Gareth Bale. Same thing with Luka Modric. So that's one thing with Real Madrid. And Liverpool just coming in, well, might just be a bit tough for the young man, because he has to look at which club is better for him, which project is supporting, whether the Real Madrid project or the Liverpool project. And I think that would just be the main thing for him in the decision making. But I think Real Madrid might just come up, snapping the man at the end of the day.
I tell you, one of the most difficult club to contest with the transfer window has to be Real Madrid. Definitely. Very, very crafty team when they want a player. Now, in some other transfer stories, Inter Milan's Romelu Lukaku has all but ruled out a Premier League return with the 28-year-old Belgian striker. Instead tipped to replace Robert Lewandowski at Bayern Munich. Some of these players, it baffles me, because 4 seasons ago, a lot of people criticized Lukaku's style of play. But few years down the line, the guy is very hot in the market.
I think for me, it's just about what you can give at the end of the day. When we look at his start at Inter, he has a very good start, trust me, helping them to eventually clinch the Serie A after a very long time. So for me, I think his stocks are rising high in the market. But I think him coming back to England might be a sort of setback for him, because when you look at the pace of the Serie A and the pace of the Premier League, they are two different. The Premier League is very, very pacey, much more than Serie A. So that for me, that might be the reason he's looking at not coming back to the Premier League, because that's going to take a lot of physicality from him. Maybe probably that's why the reason he's looking at going to replace Lewandowski for me.
Welcome back from that. We want to hope you enjoy every bit of that. But that's also a wrap on the show today. Thank you so much for being a part of the program. And of course, we'll be back again next time, bigger and better. Thank you so much for being here today.
You're most welcome, Bronson. It's good to be here today.
That's what it is. We're back again next week with a bigger and bumper episode of the program, Sport Pizza. Meanwhile, don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms currently displaying on your screen right now. Go to YouTube and drop us your subscription. Thank you so much for all of that. Now, that's it. Stay safe. On behalf of our production crew, thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.